is an outstanding football team, 10-win season this year, and 40 wins in the last 4 years. So I think that speaks volumes about the kind of football team they have currently and what they have had. Gary Pinkel and his staff have done a great job down there. A lot of good football players, and offensively, very, very wide open. 4 wides, 5 wides. The quarterback Gabbard's an excellent passer and also a very good runner, deceptively good runner. So they're a very, very good football team that way. And then defensively, they're giving up 15 points a game, which is stellar. And a big part of their success, very, very athletic at all positions, very disruptive. They did 38 sacks, and just done a great job, and are very tough once you get down in there. They don't give up many touchdowns. So that's going to be a great challenge for us, one we're looking forward to, and we'll get into that part of our preparation here over the weekend. He's big. He throws the ball extremely well, very accurately. They throw and catch extremely well, and that's what they do the best. And but again, I think the other hidden dynamic really doesn't show up statistically, but he's a very effective runner, very dangerous runner. So it's not like he's a big plodding guy at all. That's not the case. He's a guy who can run very well and very athletic.
Well, Gabbard is big. He can throw. He can really throw. I think his speed is deceptive. He's a good athlete. He's a real good athlete. So he can scramble around and beat you. I mean, it's another quality quarterback. Just a quality guy.
That's what they do best. They throw and catch extremely well. They've got a good offensive line, led by their center, who's a veteran player. And, they're very efficient at what they do. They've been the system's evolved through the years, and I'm going back to where they were more of a 2 tight end team and they had a quarterback an awful lot. They've evolved into a very good throwing football team, and he doesn't hang on to that ball. He knows where to go with it, and does a nice job throwing it accurately too. So the result of them is very, very proficient offensively.
They're different. They're probably like Northwestern at its most extreme, bizarre things. I mean, they might line up their tackles and the quarterback here, and then they put 5 guys over here and nobody over here. They might line up 4 guys over here. The core of their offense here, 1 guy in the backfield and nobody over here. So, I mean, it's stuff that you drop in the sand and beat you. But they know what they're doing with it. There's a method to their madness, and I think figuring out the method to the madness is the trick. When you try to match up guys on guys, they might line up, the tight end lines up here and the running back lines up over there, and that's not where they're supposed to line up. They're supposed to line up in other places.
Which, I think that's a big part of why they've won 40 games the last 4 years. Usually teams that win consistently and win a lot of games play pretty good defense, and they really do. And they're unique. They're like Ohio State in some ways in that they're they're really close to the ball quickly. They're unlike Ohio State in some ways too. I'm not a direct parallel, but as far as making it tough for you to score, the athleticism they have, some of those kinds of things. I think there are a lot of parallels there, and that's not a fluke that they've given up 15 a game. And that is the most important stat defensively. It's how many points you give up, and if you get it down in there, they really they do a great job in the red zone. I think they've got to be leading the top of the country as far as red zone production. It's really impressive what they do down there. This group almost looks like an NFL group, especially up front. Their guys up front are really prolific pass rushers. 38 sacks they've got. They're unusual, and they play a lot of guys. And then on 3rd downs, they'll play their outside guys on the inside and bring in their other outside guys. So I mean, you'll have 4 guys that can really track it down out there at one time. At times, in certain situations. So it's a little bit unique from that standpoint.
Built on speed defensively. I would describe them. I describe them. As a very athletic team, especially their front 7. All their linebackers can really run. The DNs are extremely talented. I think right now one of the things, if you look at them from a statistical standpoint, the things that you notice about them. Most are, they're giving up a little more than 2 touchdowns a game. but they are really stingy in the red zone. You know, not only in allowing people to score, but letting people score touchdowns. It's probably the lowest that I can remember ever seeing, you know, since, you know, we've played anybody here at Iowa. So they, you know, we've got to make sure we've got a great game plan for them, you know, inside the red zone. But they're a well-coached team. They'll bring pressure a lot of different ways, and again, it's, you know, part of the reason they've got 38 sacks on the season as well. Well, number one, you need to know where the blitz is coming from. You know, I think that's critical, and you have to, you know, in order to, if you know where the blitz is coming from, then we've got a chance to get it stopped. And you know, Rick can either change a protection or get us into, you know, into a protection that can be better for us. You know, whether it's 5-man, 6-man, 7-man, whatever, you know, it doesn't much matter, but depending on the situation. But you know, part of that has come in the red zone. I'd say a good portion of that has come in the red zone and in third down types of situations, especially where they'll you know, they'll get after you pretty good. But you know, we've got to be fundamentally sound. They are a quick team off the edge. They'll even substitute where they'll take their speed guys and put them inside, match them up against guys that normally aren't matched up against people with that kind of speed, to be perfectly honest with you, which really can cause some issues at times. They use their hands very well, and they have you know, they have you know, great feet. So, they're not afraid to play a cover 0 or cover 1, you know, and you know, try to run with you. And you know, in their conference, they've run with some of the best athletes that there are in college football. They're not afraid of that by any means, and that's what they practice against every day as well. Feel a lot of pressure on first down as well. That's geared to stopping the run, obviously. You know, a good portion of it will come from the boundary. You know, it looks like they like to bring their corners and get them involved with some things. They'll jump into some fronts that are gonna, you know, really, you know, really force you to have to run the ball one way or throw it another, you know, kind of a thing. So there's gonna be some, you know, we've got some work ahead of us to make sure we've got it all covered. But I wouldn't say that they, you know, blitz more than any other team that we've seen by any means. But at the, you know, at the same point in time, they've got, you know, their packages, and they're going to bring pressure, and you know, they can get in a little, you know, little bear look that, we see from time to time. They can bring a little more pressure.